buildings are going to come. If they reach a certain level, I can give them some property tax rebate because he's brought up a new township or a new apartment complex in a manner in which he's putting less burden on my municipal services. Something like that, which is, I know it is kind of slicing the various models and picking out only one chunk out of it. But I'm just saying, for it to get more practically absorbed and implemented, agreed that municipal bodies are the regulators of built environment and therefore they should push for energy efficient buildings and designs and so on and so forth, so that there is a larger implication. Undoubtedly those are there, but can there be a subset of this which they can start applying in their thing?
Do one more rating for which are related to municipal urban.
Yeah.
One rating will cover these aspects, but a higher rating will have all the other components.
If you have seen one of the slides where Vishal was showing so many agencies are under Griha, under MNRE, there are so many schemes where you can get funds or incentives. It's only you have to pick up and use it. But a single window approach is not there. But there are different agencies, and he has given an elaborate list in that slide. I think we can tell this incentives and Griha, he was also saying it's there, it's only you have to pick up and use it. Instead of going like layouts or group housing, you can do a wonderful things by using the same fund mechanism. And at Griha, if you go for schemes, the architect gets in mind, makes this thing, that the building sector gets in, the whole townships you can work on. Now, what ultimately you are saying is something like looking for a green cities, yes, with a single window or a HMT or a municipal agency, channelizing all this and then pushing it. I think it's a long, it takes some time.
Pick up those elements that impact municipal functioning very immediately, so that then they'll start implementing it. Today, if we tell municipalities that you have to implement such complex building codes because the city, your overall city will have lower energy consumption, it's a very long-term objective, I feel. I'm saying pick up those elements which will directly begin to make life easier for municipalities. And then expand that, bring more attributes which do not directly impact the municipality, bring that within its ambit.
Maybe the municipal corporation first needs to identify, let's say for example, a municipal corporation in Rajasthan. Water is very scarce. So if buildings or say townships start equipping or implementing measures to bring down the water consumption, then they can give some rebate in terms of pricing or any such incentive. So each municipality has to identify and then they maybe can implement such measures.
Cities and all should be promoting this Indian architecture tradition.
I know a lot of groups, but later on when they come to the final year, the mindsets are all completely spoiled with the modern thing. I spoke to many of the lecturers. One of my close friends in JNU architecture, he says, it's not that we don't take the architecture, it's not that we don't teach in architecture. We teach them, we expose them to the primitive village house unit as an architecture, we show them how. But once they come to final year and then come to the project, they lose that thing. I still remember, as I said now, it's stuck in my. I stayed in a place like Bunny. I don't know how many people are aware. It's most of the northwestern part of tip of Rajasthan, bordering to Pakistan. In Bunny, what they do is they leave the donkey the next in the night, next day morning it goes to Pakistan, picks up the jeans and tobacco and comes back. So the trade is done by not human beings, it's a donkeys, it's tied to the bellies. It's a desert area, unless otherwise you take the help of local people, you cannot reach there because the entire area is a desert and you will not get any orientation which side, which directions you are going unless you look at the sun and stars and makeup.
If you are having a passive building, it is not consuming any electricity. Suppose it's 100% passive building, it's not consuming any electricity. So there are various aspects. First, is it getting the comfort or not? And if you are able to prove that it is comfortable, as per the, suppose you take NBC. So it is comfortable as per the comfort requirements of NBC throughout the year. You can actually get more than 10 points that are available in energy section. But if you are not able to prove that it is comfortable throughout the year, then you cannot get the points. Because on one side we have comfort guaranteed through active systems. So on one side we have this. Somebody can always say, make a house or a building and say, I don't have AC, and give me all the energy point, I am saving energy. I can switch off all the lights, I can switch off the fans and everything, give me all the points. So the problem with passive and active is only energy part. Remaining all points are applicable to the passive buildings. So if somebody can do the modeling or calculations and prove the comfort is there, this building will get more points than active.
Couple of announcements for tomorrow. If time permits, please, you can make a visit to the stalls, also have a cold drink there and to beat the heat. And tomorrow we'll start at 9:30. We have only 2 sessions in the morning and just one very short 1 hour session after lunch. Tomorrow's session is more on the actual mechanics of how to implement the projects. It's more on issues related to standards, contracts, how do you finance these energy saving projects, ESCO model, what are the issues. There were questions like, if I have 1 crore energy bill, will it still be viable? Can I do it? And things like that. And specifically, there is this 50 cities with APIDFC, this street lighting energy saving project which is being taken up. Almost all your cities that have come here are there as part of that 50 city scheme. So a lot of practical questions for implementation issues, etc., can be taken up in the discussions tomorrow. And we suppose at post lunch, 1 hour, we will have the feedback and all those implementation issues we'll discuss and conclude. So look forward to seeing you at 9:30.